back to episode 15 of the Road to Cheltenham Challenge. Andrew Blair-White. Apparently I said that 100 times in the first 10 minutes last week. Andrew Blair-White said they'll be counting. Our audience will be counting. We've so much to get through from the weekend gone. Obviously, we'd Ascot, Newbury, and some cracking performance to talk about. So
good to see Goshen get back to form. Good to see some good performances. I know you were very sweet on Soaring Glory. I think actually me and you both said about Soaring Glory on this show. I think back on around episode 4 or 5 that he was a good thing for a handicap whenever he got into one, and he sure was. He was very impressive.
Yeah, it wouldn't be without his chance in the Supreme. Now, I've had 2 bullets on this show at the Supreme, so I'm going to just have to hold fire on that one as well. But in my view, he wouldn't be without his chance. I think he's a quality horse. I did believe that he would end up running in graded company before the season was out. Incredibly well handicapped, as we said. This weekend, performance of the week.
Well, it's hard to get away from Goshen. I know that's fairly obvious. I must say, I'm sure we'll talk about him a bit more. One that I just think, not one for maybe Cheltenham this year. I know he's not going to run at Cheltenham this year, but I was really, really impressed by that Monmiral up in Haydock. I know he slammed my Triumph Hurdle horse right into the ground. Nathalam, who's now probably won't even run at Cheltenham, but I think this Monmiral's some tool of a horse. Nichols will have bought him to be a chaser. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he's running in novice chases next year. Plenty of experience over in France, and he looks a really useful recruit for connections, and it'd be interesting to see where he ends up.
Yeah, my performance of the weekend, we will come on to, I suppose, the races individually, but he didn't even win, Andrew. It was Champ. Now, I know I have 2 bullets here for the Gold Cup, but back over 2 miles, your eyes are straight away. You want to see, first of all, can he go at that pace at 2 miles, but his jumping. Mike Vince actually got it spot on the show on Thursday night, said, would he make the running? He did exactly that, but his jumping was so slick, and stepping back up and tripping out to 3 miles. He's obviously had the perfect prep now for the Gold Cup. You know, he's had one run this season very similar to Alboon Photo. So Nicky obviously one day in mind, but his jumping was what impressed me, and the class at which he travelled through the race. You know, they say a good horse can win in any trip, but back down to 2 miles, I thought he ran an absolute belter of a trial for the Cheltenham Gold Cup. I suspect Alboon Photo mightn't have slept very soundly last night, Andrew Blair-White.
Yeah, I'm sure he's resting peacefully enough. You're saying there he's had Champ has had an ideal prep for the Gold Cup, a spin round 2 miles around Newbury. He has to go another mile and 2. There's another 12 fences in that time in Cheltenham. You never know what he could do. Yeah,
can't decide between Champ or A Plus Tard now at this stage, but I know of 2 bullets to fire against yourself. But let's go back to Ascot, Andrew. Performance of the weekend at Ascot for yourself, or what kind of stuck out? We might start with Dashel Drasher.
Yeah, look, Dashel Drasher was very good. He's a very tenacious horse. You were bang on about him earlier in the year. You were very sweet on him, and rightly so in the end. Like he's proven to be up to that level. That being said, I thought it was a windy enough grade 1 at that, and it did slightly fall apart. Surname obviously didn't run his race. He's thrown his toys out of the pram now. 2 starts in a row. He just looks to be a kind of a one-hit wonder. You catch him when he's fresh at the start of the year, and then you leave him be. Master Tommy Tucker ran a funny enough race. Thought he was coming to win, then didn't find that much, and your horse Dashel Drasher just kept finding and finding. I suspect he won't run at Cheltenham, but for Jeremy Scott and Matt Griffiths to get a grade 1 in the bag, I'm sure they don't really care where it came from or what sort of grade 1 it was in. It was a very honest performance, and he's an improving horse, and I think he's still learning. He's still a green enough horse, I'd have thought. He still can do things a bit better in time, so it wouldn't surprise me if there's more improvement.
The race we're going to preview, Andrew, this week, as we said, for the next couple of weeks, we are going to look at one of the feature races each show. And so this is the turn of the champion chase. Andrew Blair-White, you have Shaq and Pursois. You've made a juicy price on the Road to Cheltenham Challenge, 9-2. In my opinion, I don't think anything is going to beat him. We've been a long-term fan, both of us, of Shaq and Pursois. But maybe thoughts on the race as a whole. What could come into it potentially?
Yeah, look, I don't think it's a massive division, to be honest. I think even that run of Champ would indicate the 2 mile division in England is pretty weak on its knees, that a 3 mile chaser is coming in and as you say, for 3/4 of the race, look like he might pick up the pieces. I can't see Jacques Ante-Post. I know he hasn't run at the track yet, but there's nothing to suggest he wouldn't enjoy it. I know he's a short price at the moment, but I think for the good of racing, I really want him to go and do it. You know, for Mullins obviously hasn't won the champion chase somehow, even though he's had some brilliant 2-milers over the years. It seems to be a bit of a cursed race for him, and it's been a bit of a cursed race for Jacques Ante-Post getting to Cheltenham the last couple of years. But hopefully he can do the business. If you're looking at horses that may be able to fill the frame, I wasn't sweet on her at all at the start of the year, but I think the more and more I look at the race, the more and more likely I think Put the Kettle On will run a race into second or third. I see she's around 14-1. I think she'll definitely run in this rather than the Mare's Chase. She'd have to shoulder a £5 penalty in the Mare's Chase, which I doubt they'll want to do. And she'd have every entitlement to run in this race. She holds quite a lot of the English horses on form from either the Arkle last year or the Schlur Chase. And I think she's an honest horse. She runs her race. She's 3 from 3 over course and distance. Wouldn't surprise me at all if she was in the frame. Can't be having many of these English horses. Altior, like, I think the price is probably fair at 8-1. Like, you know, you have seen these horses roll back the years, but I couldn't be touching them personally. And that Nube Negra who beat him, I couldn't touch either. He's not from 3 around Cheltenham. He's not from 3.
Yeah.
He's not from 3 around Cheltenham. I thought a couple of years ago, he was well backed in the Fred Winter and travelled into the race like an absolute good thing and didn't get up the hill. I didn't believe. Was 7th or 8th in the Great Wood then the next year. He just, for me, a lot of his winning is coming on sharp tracks. Even you look at last year's form, he was beaten by Esprit de Large and Rouge Vif in graded novice chases. Like those horses, well, Esprit de Large certainly wouldn't be cited in a champion chase. Rouge Vif, you know, if you got proper good ground, might be able to run into 4th or 5th in a champion chase. So that form doesn't look great. And I just think he's the type of horse that might mop up races at Kempton over the years, but maybe not around Cheltenham.
Yeah, interesting you make the point. I just liked what he done at Kempton last time. You make a good point that obviously his Cheltenham form isn't the May West. He's in here. He's obviously improved a hell of a lot this season. You know, we didn't see him for quite a while, and he's got up to a rating now of 165. Won't be beating Jacques Ante-Post, but he'd be my, I suppose, each way alternative at this point. Altior, for me, could not touch him back at 2 miles. He wanted 3 miles 2 years ago. He's still running at 2 miles. Just can't. He was a horse I obviously respected over the years and was a big fan of Altior at one point in time. But it's just a point in time where you just have to say, well, is he good enough at this level anymore? So Nube Negra would be my each way alternative. What I like about him is how he jumps, how quick he is through the air. He's not, shall we say, like the likes of an Energumene or Siskin or a Jacques Ante-Post even for that matter. But you know, he's very quick over his fences and quick through the air. Similar enough to like Scorryle isn't going to go for the race, and so you're just looking for that each way alternative. Maybe at a bigger sort of a price if you were, looking for value on the day. And for me, you know, he's going here. Skeletons are obviously in cracking form. I think they have a nice team of horses going to Cheltenham this year. Let's go. Let's talk about, I suppose, our selections to date and come on to week 15 selections.
Yeah, we're going through my ones, starting off back in November time with Nasalam at 25. I think that one's unfortunately a forlorn hope at this stage. He's been beaten the last twice. Wide receiver, 25-1 any race. Still pretty happy with that. Hopefully he goes to the Martin Pipe. Jacques Ante-Post 9-2. I think if he turns up and runs to form, he wins. Latest exhibition, 16-1 for the Brown Advisory Novices Chase. I see he's been a bit weak in the exchanges. I'm not sure whether he's going to run at Cheltenham or not. I wish he does, but it wouldn't surprise me if they bypassed it. Delvino and Dusart, both non-runners. Brave Man's Game at 16-1 for the Ballymore. Still happy with that, actually, I must say. I think he's even drifting out back to 9-2 or something. I think he's a backable price. I think he should be favourite on form alone, but that's just my opinion. Run Wild Fred, 10-1 any race. Hopefully he gets in the Kim Muir. It came to pass 12-1 for the Fox Hunters. Should run well. Aramax 20-1 for the Grand Annual, probably up against just based off his jumping. Ellie May 12-1 for the Mare's Chase. I think that looks a good bet now. I'm really happy with her. I think she's a very good mare. Captain Guinness 20-1 for the Arkle. A little bit heart overhead with Captain Guinness, unfortunately. Kashari 25-1 for the Coral Cup, and Black Tears 33-1 for the Mares Hurdle. She's running in the Quevega Hurdle at Punchestown on Wednesday. So if she wins that, I assume she'll definitely run in the Mares Hurdle. If she gets stuffed in that, she might run in the Coral Cup if she gets put down a couple of pounds. But I think they'll be trying to win on Wednesday. And hopefully, if she does that, she'll be half the price of 33s. My three wild cards. One's already down the drain. Honeysuckle 3-1 for the Mares Hurdle. Unfortunately, she's running the champion. Time Mill at 5-1 for the Stars Hurdle. Like that a lot. And then Album Photo resting easily in his box, unlike what Barry was trying to say earlier on, at 3-1 for the Gold Cup. And to be honest, if there is a gamble on Champ on the day, I wouldn't be against it, because it means I'm going to get a better price on the winner.
Andrew Blair-White trying his intimidation tactics last week with the album photo wildcard pick. And yeah, look, go through mine here very quickly. Eldorado Allen, he might well run in the Arkle. Won't be getting near the Nergemine though. Mac Fabulous, 12-1 for the Stairs Hurdle, going to Aintree. Appreciated 12-1, picked the wrong race. It looks like for the Ballymore, I have him. Champ 12-1, very happy with this. Yeah, as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes off a lot shorter than his current price, even on the day. So yeah, 12-1 is looking like value there. 10-1 in Nergemine. Again, rock solid. Any race for the festival goes Arkle and wins. Kescon Risk, not sure. 25-1. Concertista, 9-2. Mares Hurdle, that's rock solid as well. And Tukas, 25-1. Delighted with this one. Andrew, my book is starting to look up. It's not looking too bad now.
Very good.
We're talking here from Champ all the way down here to Tukas. We're not looking too bad. Then we come on, of course, to Autumn Evening, 40-1. Won't be getting into the race. That was disappointing. Ramillies goes for the champion bumper, I read from Willie Mullins, so it's nice to know he goes to the race. He thinks he'll improve. Royal Kahala, 8-1 for the Mares Hurdle. Again, that's solid. Third time lucky for the Supreme Novices Hurdle. Not having that. That's probably one of my poorer ones. Gramwa for the Coral Cup. I like that, 20-1. Think he is well handicapped. And I think this is the race he's going to go for. Has the option of the county, but I think 2 mile 5. He's well handicapped, and I like his chances for that. Brinkley 16-1 was last week's selection. Yeah, I think he'd go for the race, and I'd like his chances off his current mark. So 16-1. Obviously, he's qualified. She Wears It Well was the first wild card. Disappointing. Obviously, she got injured. Monkfish 3-1. Like that, rock solid for the RSA. Yeah, if price wasn't an issue, I'd actually have him as the banker of the festival. A Plutard, 9-1 for the Gold Cup, so we're double teamed against Album Photo with both Champ and A Plutard. Being honest about it, I'm not sure. Probably, I can't make up my mind on the final selection there, but I know we've got value. And yeah, I would be confident that both will run well in the Gold Cup. So that's my, I suppose, selections to date. Andrew Blair-White, give us your selections for week 15.
Yeah, well, you're looking through the races now, trying to find races that you haven't put something up in. I know you love a little double dart at some of these races, but I'm trying to cover my options, and a race that we haven't looked at and we haven't really discussed at all. It's a race that's gone completely under the radar this year, is the cross-country chase. And I know we obviously, the Champ.ie's very own Jason Kiley's been doing the rounds on Nick Luck's podcast and all that. And anyway, I've been in touch with Jason myself. And obviously, David Cotan trains the favourite Easy's Land in this. I think he's obviously got a very good chance, but be a braver man than me taking 7-4, given the preparation he's had. I can't think it's been absolutely ideal. And instead, I'm going to be siding with his stablemate, Ajas, who you can get best, I'm guessing it's 17-2 in the book. You can get 10-1 with William Hill, but it's 17-2 best price other than that, so I can't take 10s. So 17-2 about Ajas. Look, he's 3 from 5 this year over in France. He won the Grand Prix de Pau 2 starts back. He's a really progressive horse. I've watched all of his races back this year. He jumps super. He's a lovely way of going about things. He's a stout stayer. And I just think he's a 7-year-old up-and-coming horse. There's 2 horses over in France that I think could well play a big hand in this, being a Jas and another horse called Uni Katat, who's trained by McCare, who also has a good chance. I'm not as convinced he's going to run in the race, though. Jas is definitely going to come over. He's been given a Grand National entry as well, which means they obviously hold this horse in pretty high regard. Jason confirmed to me that they thought he's a grand horse that would have his chance running in the race. And I think just at the prices, he's worth the bet in this at 17-2.
Solid, Andrew. Yeah, I see your logic there with that one. All right. Jason, yeah. Plenty of darts going for David Cotton this year anyway. But yeah, my selection for week 15, Andrew, is another race that we haven't spoke about too much. I'm just getting excited now. Who is Barry Doyle going to put up on week 15? Choreograph, Andrew, for the Albert Bartlett. Gordon obviously has 2 that are short enough in the market. Fakira's in here. Now, I can't have him. When was the last French-bred horse that won the Albert Bartlett? Be able to tell me that, Andrew Blair-White? Can't. Yeah, look, I think Choreograph is the absolute ideal profile for the race. Won't qualify, hasn't qualified for the Pretemps, so that was kind of a race. I was just keeping my options open with him. It looks like he will go Albert Bartlett, shortened up on the machine over the last couple of days. He's 14-1, best price with 2 firms at the moment. So getting that in, I think there will be support for him. Has had 3 runs over hurdles and won the race that Monkfish won before he went to the Albert Bartlett. So yeah, look, he has proven form over an extended 2 miles and 7 furlongs. Yeah, look, as Mike Vince would say, stays longer than the mother-in-law, does all his best work at the finish, will handle soft ground, should have come up that way. And I just think he's a guaranteed stayer in a race. I think he has enough class as well. I think he was second to the big getaway in a bumper once upon a time. Confident about this one, you can probably gather.
Yep, it's a very good one. I think the Albert Bartlett's a very open race. I don't think there's any massively class act in the race like there has been. I don't think there's going to be any type of burn-up like it was last year. And I think Choreograph holds an awful lot of the aces. I'm hearing rumours out of Elias Yard as well that Jack Kennedy will ride him.
Yeah, so look, confident selection by myself for week 15. And as I said, we only have a couple more darts left, Andrew, to fire. So is there anywhere in particular you're looking? Are you going to give us any clues ahead of the last 2 weeks?
I'm trying to find races, that you're just trying to get value at this point. It's a couple of weeks to go. You're trying to find horses that maybe haven't been spotted just yet. There's been an awful lot have been, so it is harder than it is, especially now with non-runner no bet. An awful lot of the odds are kind of crashing down, but I'm sure I'll try to find. I assume I'll be more heading down the handicap route the last two weeks and try to get 2 horses in, potentially one for the Ultram or something like that in the next couple of weeks. I'm humming and hawing whether I have to get Discoram in the team or not, Barry. I'm a Paul Nolan man through and through. I do have Paul Nolan in the team so far, but he's one to consider, and also potentially unexpected depth for my other love affair of Oliver McKieran in the Pretemps. I think he'd have a chance in that, but people will have to come back next week and see where I've landed.
That concludes episode 15, Andrew Blair-White. Another very enjoyable episode. 2 weeks left. 2 big races to preview, of course, in the coming weeks. And for, I suppose, anyone who hasn't subscribed to the channel, make sure to do so. Like the videos below and let us know your selections below for week 15. So plenty of interest, and let's hope this continues over the next 2 weeks, Andrew.
Yeah, exactly. Ramping up to the biggest 4 days of the year for National Hunt fans. I know everyone's getting excited in the comments. We're getting excited here. So hopefully we can get there in one piece and back as many winners as possible.